Trigger warning, people. I am a sad girl this week, and I am crying, and I am talking about anxiety and mental health. And yeah, I'm just very sad in this video. So if you're feeling sad, or if you are prone to getting sad from seeing other people be sad, then maybe you shouldn't watch. You have been warned. Thanks for watching if you continue to watch, and taking care of yourself if you don't watch. Enjoy. I was going to originally post a video about a rant of just the outside world affecting my emotional well-being. And it was, last week was pretty good, fairly good. Like, the energy was okay. Like, I could, I was going through every day and, just not having like a twinge of doubt or fear. Like, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just going about with my days, which is good. And then towards the end of the week, it was kind of just really going downhill really quickly. And it was just a lot of outside factors that was just making me like it just poked a hole in my balloon, and I was just draining really fast, and that made me worried and anxious, mostly anxious, because I was like, it was kind of like a wake up from your little daydream, and look out the real world right now, and why aren't you doing anything? And I just felt like, why is this happening again? And I don't know. And I remembered that I also have a psychiatrist evaluation coming up this week, and I'm very anxious and nervous about it. I know nothing, like, it's a good thing. The only thing that's making me anxious is going outside, and I'm not gonna cry. I hate it when that happens, because I feel like it's just not a nice feeling to know that you have a hard time just stepping outside your house. But it's anxiety, and then it's also because all of the news and just everyone having a bad day, and you really have to really watch out for yourself because people are just being stupid. And and then I have moments where I'm like, man, I should have really just went for it and just did my driver's license test just to have a license. That way I could at least rent a car, so that way if I didn't want to go by public transportation, then I could just take a car. But even that is anxiety, and then I would have to have money to rent a car or whatever. And all of that is that's not the big part of it. My issue that I'm having, that I'm is why can't I just do something by myself and not be so scared? And it's very, I don't know, it's a weird feeling, And I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I have like these random moments where I'm just like, it's just like washing over me, like this, like I can't do something. And it's not like a hey, you can't do something. It's like I physically can't, because like something in me is like ugh. It's like I don't even want to say paralyzing, but it's almost close to that feeling. So I feel like as I'm talking about this, I feel like I have these two overwhelming strong feelings, or moments where I just feel like paralyzed, and I feel like shutting down, like I have to like crawl into a hole and just like hide for like 10 minutes or something. But so there's this feeling that I get where I don't know why, but it always happens when I'm sometimes when I'm changing clothes, or it has to do with clothes. And this is going to be a little woo woo, but I feel like it's a past life thing. Like there's a trauma from a past life or someone in our ancestral line that it has come down to me, because I don't think anyone else in the family has really like described or said anything about having a feeling like this. But it always happens when I'm like changing clothes or wearing a certain type of clothes where maybe the chest is showing a little more, or maybe the legs are a little bit more shorter, and it immediately, like, I could be fine, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, and it feels like I just feel so vulnerable, and I feel so exposed. And it's been like that since I was a little kid. And when it that feeling would happen a lot, and I didn't know why. And it was just the strangest feeling, and I didn't know like how to describe it. Like I was an outgoing kid. Like I was like a normal childhood, like so oblivious with like everything that was actually going on. So when I'd have those moments, I would just be like, what the heck is happening? And then immediately I would have to like, ugh, I don't like this. Like I have to change. And I would change it to something, cover myself up more, and I would like still feel like, ugh. But then slowly I would like feel better and go back to normal. And so that is like a quick, like, it will be like an episode of that. So yeah. And then this this has happened a couple times where I want to say maybe it happened like maybe it's happened like 3 4ish times now, in maybe like the past 6 years or something, where I've really noticed that. If it's probably happened more before, but this time in the past 6 years, I've really, ever since I've been out of school, I've really noticed like, man, I'm like, oh my god, I have this whole, hold on, people. Ugh. Oh my god, I, uh, I feel like I am in a slump, and I am embracing the slump, and that is okay. Um, I feel like ever since I've been out of school, it's been more noticeable to me. And like I've always known that like I can't go to places by myself, because I just it's another cardinal. Me. I'm not gonna cry. The birds. I've always known that I couldn't, like, I always feel really anxious and like I'm scared to go to places by myself. And I feel like the more I notice it, the more I'm like, ugh, that's so childish. Like, how are you ever going to do anything by yourself? Like, you have to live your own life and you have to do these things by yourself. The things that you want are going to be things that no one else is going to be on that train or bus with you. So you just have to go on your own. And it's like, okay, yeah, I know, but like, just like realistic everyday things. Like, if I wanted to, like, just visit my sister's house, like, even that, I just have to take a bus. And then I get there, and it's not even far. It's not that bad of a trip. And I just am like this crippling feeling of like, I can't even go outside the house because I don't know why. Like, I have the fears of like, well, people are crazy these days. You never know what's going to happen. But it's not just that. It's like that's 25% of it, and then 75% of it is like just pure anxiety, and I'm just like, I just can't go outside. And every time when I'm like, I just can't go outside, I feel so like disappointed with myself because I'm just like, why can't you just do this one simple thing? And then, like, it's that question, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just have this right now. Maybe another time. And then it'll pass. Like, I don't keep beating myself up over it, but I feel like today is like one of those days where I'm like beating myself up over it. Where I'm just really noticing because I don't know. I feel like once again, like waking up with that feeling of like, you are alive. You have this whole like real life that you are going through. And I'm just like, yeah. And then at the end, you have lived it and then you will die. And I'm like, yeah. But today I woke up like that. But then I also was like, it started to get like, before in the beginning when I was like having a lot of these like morning visceral feelings of all of that, it was very like, wow, it's a brand new day. And now it's slowly becoming like darker and darker. And now today it was kind of like, yes, you are living a life. Like, it didn't come to me like that. Like, it was still like, wow, another day, another new day. But in myself, I was like, yes, another new day. And here I am, just like, what are you doing? How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to take that first step and everything? And I feel like as I'm talking about this, it sounds like depression, but I don't know. Like, I was thinking to myself and I was like, yeah, how am I going to make the first step? And then I was just like, I just got to keep going. I just got to keep practicing, and I just got to keep like working on the things that I want to manifest in my life. And that is how I will open the door and be like, hello world, it's me. It's been a long time coming. So, yeah. So it was like, it was a little bit more darker, but more in the sense of, okay, now seriously, now you have to like really, really put in the work. And I think it's because I have been doing music. I have been recording YouTube and stuff. I have been looking into like part-time jobs that hopefully I won't lose my sanity and my soul. And yeah, but then I took a break over the weekend And I felt kind of like guilty about taking a break, but then I was like, listen, you need rest sometimes. And then once you come back, you'll be fully charged and ready to go again. And it's a new week. So I'm like, okay, you've rested. Now it's time to get to work. And I'm like, yeah, it's time to get to work. And then I remembered that I have to have a physical, not physical, a psychiatric evaluation at the end of this week. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? We usually watch our baby niece, and I forgot to tell my sister, and now I have to, like, I don't know what to do, and now I have to go to this therapist place by myself, and I'm scared to go by myself, and I can call a Lyft or Uber, but even that, I'm like, I don't know why, it's just really random. Like, some days I'm like, okay, it's fine if I have to call. And then other days I'm like, I don't want to call. I don't want to get in a car with a total stranger. Like, this is the opposite of what we were taught. And now I have to do this exact thing. Yeah. And yeah. But if I take public transportation, I would be even more like anxious and like even more inclined to like not go, because it's just, there's even more people and there's just so many things that could happen if I take public transportation. With Uber or Lyft, there's only one possibility, and it's I either get home safe or, you know, something, the opposite thing. And if I have to fight somebody, then it would just be one person. But if I was in public transportation, then it'll be like, is someone else gonna help me? Or are we all gonna, like, sink in this boat together? So, yeah, and there's like more eyes and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, so immediately spiraling, because it kind of just set the whole tone for the week for me, where I'm just like, the days is getting closer where I have to go outside and meet this person. And then I went over to my mom's room, and then I was like, what do I do? And then she was like, well, I guess she's understanding that. She knows that I just like, I mean, she's seen me like cancel like a trip because I just have so much anxiety, and I'm just like, I can't. I just can't. And so she was like, well, we'll just have to not watch our baby niece this week, or her granddaughter this week, and we'll go. And then I was like, but why can't I just like go by myself? And then she was just like, I don't know, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it just is what it is. And I don't think she really said anything. She was I think she was honestly tired herself, because it was in the morning. She was kind of just like sitting there too, like probably having a little bit of like a sad episode herself. So, yeah. And when I was telling her like, but what if someone says like, why can't you just go by yourself? And I was telling her like, I could technically, like, she could stay home, watch the baby, and I could technically go by myself. Like, it's true, I could technically go by myself. It's just I would have to take an Uber or Lyft, and that would make me like nervous and scared and stuff. And even if I was to take an Uber or Lyft with her, like, I would still feel like nervous and scared, because she doesn't speak English. So if anything, like, we'll get home safe, but it'll just be like, I don't know, it's just awkward, but it's not as bad as like going alone. So yeah. And the appointment is like the time when like school is over, so the kids would be like going home and playing around and messing about, and oh my god, that's a whole nother anxiety level that I'm just like, I just don't want to deal with. It's so annoying. And I've been ranting for like 20 minutes now, and this is about to be this whole week's video. And part of me is like, I don't care. And another part of me is like, I don't know. I want to keep the videos like around under 30 because it takes a long time to export them and upload them. But I've also uploaded videos before that were like 40 minutes long. So it's totally fine and everything. But sometimes when I'm like talking a lot, I'm like, no one's going to watch this. And I know that people are watching because every time I upload, it's like, this video got this many views. And it's not a lot of views, but it's the fact that someone is actually watching. So I'm just like, okay, that's, I don't know why. But thank you to everyone. Yeah. I'm just crying and just being snotty and just like, and just continuously rambling. But that's how I feel. Yeah. Maybe I'll come back later when I'm feeling like a little bit more better or something. I feel like I have more stuff to say, but it's just always the same things of like, I need to do and then I have to do. Or I want to do. There's stuff that I want to do and there's stuff that I have to do. And then in the middle is how I'm feeling, which is either anxiety or depression, which I'm not too sure of, but I get really sad sometimes and I don't know what to do. It's just like immediately like I can't. I feel like I'm dreading going because I feel like I didn't really talk about the last time when I went to the intake that much, but after the whole experience, it was fine. You know, the people were nice and everything. I just felt like I was a broken toy, like finally checking itself in and being like, yeah, I need to get recalled. I didn't show up, so now I am, and I'm a little late, I'm a little behind, but here I am. And it's just like facing the fact that this was your life and you were okay with having all of that happen to you. And it's like, girl, I knew that. I'm knowing that now. And yeah, it's sad and it's messing me up big time. But at least, you know, better late than never, you know? And then at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I know it's a good thing for me to go, but I just can't help but feel like I'm admitting to the defeat of like, no, girl, you're messed up. And I'm like, yeah, I know I messed up, but let me like make it fun, let me make it a little spicy at least. And now it's just like, no, this is serious and you can't play around with this. And it's like, oh my God, you're just making it even more worse. You're just making it even more depressing. And I can't even say that either because I haven't actually gone to like sit down and talk to a therapist yet. But it's just that knowing, that feeling of already just being like, yeah, so this happened, but you know, I'm okay. I'll get better. And then going to the psychiatrist, which I'm kind of like on the fence of with the medicine stuff because I'm like, if I need it, fine, I'll take it. But if I don't, then I don't want to. You know, like I feel like I can regulate myself because I'm going based on my initial feeling and my awareness of like, if I can't do it, then I will say I can't do it. I'm not going to push myself into something that I don't want to do. I've been doing that for a long, long time until now that I'm realizing. And I just feel guilty. Now I just have like the guilty feeling of like, you know, saying no. But it's like, if I say no, then what is everyone else going to do? They're just going to have to do what they have to do while I'm over here doing what I want to do. I feel like a child, you know? That's what it is. I feel like a child. And sometimes there's a part of me that's like, Karen, it's time to grow up. And then I'm just like, no, 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 no. And another part of me is like, yeah, you're right. And then immediately I feel like Squidward, where like his little nose is like boop, and then he's like deflating. I feel like that, where it's just like, and that is why this morning I was like, yes, it's true, I'm living this life. I feel like, I don't know, in my head it's like free will, and I'm like, yes, I'm using it. And it's like society, and it's like, I'm not gonna look at her. But I don't know, like, I was going to say sometimes she's right, but then it's like, but is she? Because she was the way, like, she was constructed this way to make me feel like she was right and I was wrong. And I've always been questioning her. So is she right? Because, you know, look at how the world's gone to now. So explain yourself, you know? And that was basically everything else that I was talking about before in my ranting. Previously, I had clips of me reading in my journal, reading in my spiritual astrology book about my mission in this lifetime and basically how I've been feeling. And then I was like, maybe it's too much, maybe it's too personal, I'm gonna scrap it, which is why I'm talking for this video. And I feel like it's maybe this one's a little bit more cleaner and more like you could understand me, because the other one was kind of like in the details, and this one is more kind of like overall for this week. Overall, I'm feeling like this. The cardinal came back. Oh my gosh. Should I record? Let me see if I can record it. I don't know if you guys can see. Is it still there? It is still there. There is a cardinal in the middle of the screen. Oh my god. I don't think you can see it. Let me see if I can get down here. It's hard to spot, but it's like right there. Let me see if I can. Oh my god, I don't think you guys can see it. It's like really tucked away. Let me see. Oh nope, you can't even see it like that. Okay. There's my mama outside tending to her garden. Oh my gosh, this bird. Oh, you can't see her.